What's up? Welcome back to Nowstalgia. Dave here with a review of Jack Harlow's fourth album, Monica, his first record in nearly 3 years, Jackman back in 2023. And Jack Harlow, of course, one of the biggest new rap stars of the 2020, of course, blowing up, becoming quickly mainstream off the success of What's Poppin' on the eve of COVID. That rise was now 6 years ago. And with his fourth album, Monica, Jack Harlow has made a surprising pivot to R&B. Gone are the bragging, high-energy flexing songs that made Jack so popular. And instead, we have really soulful, genuine R&B. Jack made a point of not cursing on this album, using minimal digital instrumentation, clearly not feeling his old direction. To his credit, I think he uses his voice well to make this kind of music. He knows the limits of his vocal talent. He's able to fit in pretty well on these acoustic guitar, drum-ridden beats. When he's closer to actual melodic rapping versus straight-up singing, I think is when he's at his best on this album. That said, do I want to hear Jack Harlow make a Jodeci homage? Not particularly. Jack Harlow's never been a great album artist. I do think Monica's cohesive for its intended sound, but I certainly prefer his traditional rap hits more than really anything on this. Above all else, I'm just pleasantly surprised that Jack Harlow's rap pivot was not towards rock or folk or more traditional genre pivots that we've seen from other white rappers of the past. Like, I think of like the best Jack songs, right? Obviously, What's Poppin', people know, but like First Class, obviously the really big hit from him off that second album. That was a really like compelling and, intelligent sample that propelled that song to its success. Off that same album, Come Home the Kids Miss You, Dua Lipa, the hook on that, Dua Lipa tried to do more with her than do a feature. Like, his flow on that song is awesome. That song's a banger. The subsequent records I found less to like, although on the last record, Jackman, They Don't Love It, I thought was among the best songs Jack Harlow's ever done. And that's a song with a melodic hook, a straight up melodic sung hook. But he couples that with some great, classic Jack style rap verses. That's the lane I would like to see him go down. But it just feels like, from everything he said in the press regarding this album, that the kind of flexing confidence that he's displayed as a rapper thus far has not been speaking to him lately. So we'll see what comes out of this, because I'm not expecting any of these songs to be a hit. None of them are designed to be a hit. As you go through the track list, again, I think it's a pretty cohesive album in the sense that I think it sounds good, and there's some talent behind the scenes here in terms of who made this record. Norwegian producer Axel Arvid is all over this album. He's most well known for his work with Pink Panthers last year. Obviously, this is a very different sound. You also have Robert Glasper involved on some various instrumentation. I guess some Raven Lenae background vocals as well. He went to Electric Lady. I don't know if he recorded there, but he certainly went there. Of course, his historic studio with a R&B rich history. So Jack certainly went about this in an intentional manner. Again, for what it's worth, because I'm still not super compelled by any of this, really. Just kind of going through some of the songs here. First song, Trade Places. Definitely a vibey track. I think it uses Jack's voice well. He definitely knows his limits, as I said. Playful, light on its feet type singing style. I think it really matches the acoustic guitar strumming. Pretty good hook. Jazzy horns in the background work out pretty well as well. Have some nice jazzy horns in the background. Lonesome, pretty similar sound. The cymbal definitely jumps out there. Prague, you get some nice snapping. More of a quieter song, though, with a little bit more strings. Singing about trying to seduce an older woman, which speaks to, his general attitudes, I guess you could say. I like the acoustic vocals Jack does and the way they drop in as the beat, comes back to the fore. Sounds pretty nice. My Winter, I think, is probably my least favorite song here. Just quite slow. All My Friends, I think the up-tempo drums sound really nice here. The acoustics a little faster as well. Fully Formed Chorus, probably my favorite song of the bunch. Again, Grading on a Curve. Living Alone, a bit of a higher register from Jack, and I think his singing voice is like it's at a higher level than I was necessarily expecting him to do, but it's consistent. The verses there, though, this is like the most melodic hip hop you get on the project, and I think it sounds pretty nice over that drum kit. So, yeah, it's interesting in a meta sense, but I'm not compelled by the music. I'm not going to really revisit much of this, but curious for what this means for Jack Harlow's future. Am I expecting him to become the next Post Malone or Machine Gun Kelly and make music that's far removed from his rap, burgeoning success in his early days. No, I'm not expecting that, and I think Jack probably will return to more formal rap music in the future, but maybe he's going to kind of transition into more of an elder statesman type from a lyrical standpoint, despite his, age. He's not an old rapper by any means, still in his 20s, but hey, if that's where he wants to go, I don't have a problem with that, and just hope the music's good. Let me know, though, what did you think of Jack Harlow's fourth album, Monica? What do you think of this R&B pivot? Did it work for you more than it worked for me? Let me know. For more music reviews, subscribe. I'll see you next time.